These are the photographs that Hollywood wishes to bury, moments when the cruel truth was exposed. From a genius's final moments to forbidden secret affairs and the century's betrayal, the dark tragedies hidden in the private lives of stars, down to the crumbling crowns of black legends. Who was caught in the act? What terrifying truth was ripped open? Which star paid for it with their entire career? Prepare for the shock of the century, because we will unveil the 50 most scandalous photographs of black celebrities that kept the entire world talking for decades, forcing us all to ask, what is the true price of becoming an icon? This photograph exposed a dark secret: love as betrayal, sending shockwaves through Hollywood. The scandal revolved around the illicit affair between two powerful icons, Sidney Poitier and Diane Carroll. Suspicion began in 1959 on the set of Porgy and Bess. Though both were required to maintain a perfect and respectable image for the black community, the secret relationship was relentlessly pursued by the press. The scandal climaxed in 1965 when the couple appeared in the press, announcing Carroll's divorce to marry Poitier. However, after Diane sacrificed her marriage, Sidney Poitier coldly changed his mind and abandoned her. The photo transformed the affair into a grave moral scandal, shattering the actor's exemplary image and turning him into a symbol of irresponsibility. The most horrifying moment in media history. The photograph captured Michael Jackson, the king of pop, dangling his 9-month-old son, Prince Michael II, precariously from a 5th-floor balcony. The incident became a global catastrophe on November 19, 2002, at the Adlon Hotel in Berlin. Responding to the crowds, Michael held the infant out over the railing with just one hand. This image immediately caused a massive shockwave. The event was made more notorious because it happened while he was in Berlin to receive an award for his charity work benefiting children, an unforgivable contradiction. European headlines exploded, labeling Jackson a maniac and a bad, crazy father. The media viewed that horrifying image as undeniable proof of Michael Jackson's psychological instability and reckless behavior, even prompting an investigation by Berlin police. One of the most shattering moments in American history, Eartha Kitt challenging President Johnson, an action that exposed the truth right inside the Palace of Power, leading to the career banishment of the legendary diva. The infamous photograph was taken at an elegant luncheon at the White House in 1968, hosted by First Lady Lady Bird Johnson. Eartha Kitt arrived in polite evening attire, but right in that powerful room, the celebrated singer used her status to publicly criticize government policies. She accused President Lyndon B. Johnson that the Vietnam War was destroying the younger generation, leading to riots on the streets. The strained gaze in the photograph captures the exact moment she unveiled the truth. This bold act was a public political defiance, causing the media and the entertainment industry to immediately blacklist her afterward. The consequence was a silent verdict that crippled her career, effectively banishing and ostracizing Eartha Kitt from the American entertainment industry for decades. They may take my title, but they can't take my soul. That was the powerful declaration behind the photograph capturing Muhammad Ali, the world's greatest heavyweight champion, standing defiant outside the federal courthouse in Houston, Texas on April 27, 1967. The image embodies his absolute challenge to the federal judge's ruling, which officially denied his final legal attempt to avoid the military draft. Amidst the media frenzy, he looked up at the sky, confronting a destiny no authority could change. This proud stance not only caused a shockwave, but exposed the infuriating truth. The U.S. government committed a blatant robbery, stripping him of his title and banning him, simply because this black man placed his ideals of peace above the demands of the government. In 1960, this kiss was a political and legal time bomb. That is why the wedding of Sammy Davis Jr. and May Britt caused such profound global shockwaves. The infamous photograph captured the moment the couple publicly displayed their intimacy during the reception on November 13, 1960. This image was a direct defiance against anti-miscegenation laws that were still in effect in over 20 American states. Intense political pressure made the photograph even more notorious. Sammy's close friend, Frank Sinatra, was pressured by the administration to convince Sammy to postpone the wedding, fearing the scandal would cost presidential candidate John F. Kennedy votes. Sammy remained firm. The photograph became a symbol of the crumbling racial barrier, a brave act met with death threats. A series of leaked photo booth pictures from the Focus, set in New Orleans, ignited a global, shocking affair rumor between Will Smith and Margot Robbie. In the most notorious snapshot, the two posed playfully by lifting their shirts together, Smith exposing his bare chest while Robbie revealed her white lace bra. Tabloid magazines instantly transformed the harmless joking into public infidelity rumors, directly challenging the family man image that Will Smith had painstakingly built. Although sources later insisted that the photo series was merely action taken out of context, the image created relentless scrutiny. It exposed the truth that in Hollywood, one private moment is enough to destroy a brand, where the line between innocent intimacy and betrayal is deliberately blurred by the media. The photograph captured the moment jazz genius Miles Davis, of Kind of Blue fame, was violently struck on the head by a white police officer right on Broadway. The incident occurred on August 28, 1959, outside the Birdland Club. When Davis refused the officer's demand to move along, the policeman brutally attacked him with a baton. This image sent global shockwaves, exposing the brutal truth. Even the world's greatest musical genius had no protection from racial violence and the abuse of police power. The musician's blood-streaked face and jacket served as undeniable visual evidence. This scandal was a stark condemnation of an unfair system in America, where fame and talent could not erase the color of one's skin. A genius destroying himself. That is how the public described the image of Richard Pryor appearing on The Tonight Show in September 1980, marking his return after his near-fatal self-immolation incident involving rum and freebase cocaine. This photograph was the first public evidence of the third-degree burn scars covering Pryor's body, directly exposing the horrifying truth of the black comedy legend's battle against addiction. Pryor appeared frail but attempted to maintain his humor, stating he was simply happy to be alive. The raw public display of these scars transformed the event into a seismic scandal, forcing the public to confront the painful price of fame. A rare backstage moment of Michael Jackson was captured by paparazzi just before a show. This shocking photo of him applying makeup exposed the truth of his desperate attempts to conceal his vitiligo struggle. The picture clearly revealed the dramatic contrast in his skin tone. Light foundation on his face contrasted sharply with untreated areas like his hands and ears. This image alone confirmed the reality of the incurable disease ravaging his appearance. The photograph unveiled the silent tragedy of a superstar trapped between his perfect image and an identity crisis. A fierce controversy erupted. Was Michael Jackson trying to erase his black identity or merely hiding a painful truth about his physical body? This photograph was a moral time bomb, capturing a 1985 duet between Eddie Murphy and Rick James. The contrast created a profound retroactive scandal. The photo became notorious when it was released just before Rick James was convicted of kidnapping and torturing women. The brutal truth: to record, Murphy was trapped at James's home for 2 weeks, exposed to the drug-fueled super freak environment. This scandal directly challenged and shook the clean-cut image Eddie Murphy had painstakingly built. The moment Lena Horne appeared radiant with fans outside the Imperial Theater in New York, starring in the musical Jamaica, was captured by the press in 1958. This photograph marked the triumphant return of the artist after a prolonged period on Hollywood's blacklist. This event caused a major shock among the establishment because it confirmed the public revival of an artist labeled a communist sympathizer for her strong civil rights activism. The picture was a direct slap to political suppression efforts, forcing those who tried to destroy her career to witness her dazzling success on America's greatest stage. This photograph is a bitter indictment of a hypocritical Hollywood. It captures Dorothy Dandridge forced to appear in court in 1957 for her libel suit against Confidential magazine. Dandridge's appearance, marked by fatigue, became an icon of the cruel treatment and double standards imposed on black female stars. Being forced to publicly expose her private life to fight rumors unveiled the racist agenda of the tabloid media. The biggest infamy was the painful truth that the system deliberately sought to destroy this great talent. The lengthy litigation led to severe financial ruin and despair, tragically contributing to her early death at age 42. One of the most shattering moments at the 1968 Mexico City Olympics sealed a tragic verdict. The photograph captures Tommie Smith, gold, and John Carlos, bronze, bowing their heads, raising gloved black fists as the U.S. national anthem played. This was a powerful protest against Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination and pervasive racism. They stood barefoot in black socks, symbolizing poverty, and wore human rights badges. Australian athlete Peter Norman joined in solidarity. The action instantly became the focal point. Mainstream America deemed it a betrayal of the nation. The photo served as proof of their brutal punishment. Smith and Carlos were immediately expelled from the team and faced heavy public condemnation. The public photograph capturing Sammy Davis Jr. embracing President Richard Nixon at the White House in 1970 became a Judas kiss to the African American community, sparking unforgivable outrage. This image raised a major question. Why was the black hero intimate with Nixon, who was widely viewed as opposing civil rights? In truth, Davis risked his career to gain influence, hoping to spur positive change from the inside. However, the public only saw betrayal. The photograph was interpreted as a surrender to the political establishment, generating hostility against Davis. This infamous embrace exposed the star's tragic dilemma, losing the support of the very people he aimed to represent. This romantic wedding photograph was actually a political gunshot that shattered American society in the 1950s. It captured the moment Harry Belafonte and Julie Robinson went public with their secret marriage in Mexico in March 1957. This personal act of love instantly became a major social scandal. The photo sparked intense controversy because, at the time, interracial marriage was still illegal in over 20 U.S. states. Publicizing this union was viewed as a brazen challenge to Jim Crow laws. The photograph served as a political declaration, forcing American society to confront its deepest racial barrier, the boundaries of love, and challenging the legality of discriminatory laws. This photograph is a lie. It captures the king of soul, Marvin Gaye, soaring on stage during his 1983 sexual healing tour, just months before his tragic death. That radiant exterior concealed a backstage descent into madness. Due to cocaine and PCP abuse, Gaye suffered extreme paranoia, convinced someone was plotting his assassination. Consequently, he constantly wore a bulletproof vest, removing it only right before stepping onto the stage. He even forced his brother Frankie to wear identical clothing as a decoy. This fateful snapshot recorded the ultimate contradiction between the message of love he conveyed and the haunting fear of death he kept hidden. The photograph remains one of the darkest chapters on a genius's self-destruction. This close-up photograph of Michael Jackson in his later years is a terrifying visual document of the painful price of fame, self-destruction, and cosmetic tragedy. The painful secret is exposed through the visible disfigurement caused by excessive surgery abuse. His face reveals a bony, gaunt structure coupled with artificial aesthetic features that form a mask of suffering. The climax is his compressed, collapsed nose, showing severe structural failure. This photograph sparked public outcry because it closely unveils the king of pop's obsession with appearance and psychological collapse, as he pursued an unattainable image under the world's unrelenting pressure. The 1947 mugshot capturing Billie Holiday's arrest in Philadelphia for heroin possession became an indictment of ruthless government persecution. The public arrest created a cruel contrast between the jazz queen and the image of a convicted criminal. The true infamy was the system's brutal abuse. The trial resulted in 18 months in jail and, more crucially, the revocation of her cabaret card, her primary source of income. This photograph was the tragic starting point, leading to an irreparable end, her death in 1959 at age 44 in a hospital, where she was arrested again for drug possession right in her deathbed. It stands as proof of the terrible injustice that crushed a great talent. This once ordinary photo became explosive evidence of Hollywood's most forbidden, secret affair. Taken in the 1970s, it captures Richard Pryor and Marlon Brando, two men at the peak of fame but living chaotic private lives. The scandal erupted when producer Quincy Jones claimed the two had a sexual relationship. Overnight, the image became the centerpiece of rumors about a hidden same-sex affair between two revered icons. For both men, famous for their hyper-masculine personas, the revelation was seen as a rupture, exposing Pryor's turbulent marriages and challenging long-held assumptions about their sexuality. The photo now symbolizes the manipulation, denial, and buried desires that defined Hollywood's most taboo era. This photograph is a shocking document of the horrific night of December 11, 1964, when Sam Cooke was shot dead at the Hacienda Motel. The incident began with Elisa Boyer, the woman with Cooke, who claimed he attempted rape. The tragic scene was shocking. Cooke was shot dead by motel manager Bertha Franklin, nearly naked, wearing only a jacket and one shoe. This pathetic image horrifyingly contrasted with Cooke's elegant public image, exposing a dark secret. Although authorities ruled self-defense, the public suspected an orchestrated assassination. The photograph remains the symbol of the never-resolved mystery surrounding a genius's lonely death. This private photograph was a silent declaration of war against American law and morality in 1963. It captures James Baldwin in bed with Lucien Happersberger, the man he called the love of my life. The true scandal was the life-and-death boundary Baldwin bravely crossed. The photograph brazenly violated two major taboos of the time: homosexuality and interracial relationships. While laws forbade homosexual acts, this picture became a rare visual document of the private life of a prominent black figure, captured right at the height of the civil rights movement. The most controversial BET Awards moment of 2014 was the photo of veteran actors Danny Glover and Harry Belafonte sharing a public kiss, igniting fierce debate. Many questioned the intimacy, viewing it as evidence of a hidden relationship. Others fiercely defended it as deep reverence, calling them more than brothers. They saw the criticism as a societal double standard that unfairly labeled men showing affection. The photo became the epicenter of public polarization over gender and emotion. This photo captures Jackie Wilson, legendary Mr. Excitement, giving one of his final full-force performances in Walpole, Massachusetts on September 14, 1975. It later became a haunting document, taken just 2 weeks before he collapsed on stage from a fatal stroke. The image reveals his last shining moments, even as he hid worsening health and mental strain while being pushed to work relentlessly under crushing debt. To the public, it stands as a stark indictment of the financial exploitation that destroyed a genius. This rare color photo of Michael Jackson and Freddie Mercury at a private party around 1983 has long fueled explosive rumors of a secret same-sex affair. Their intimate proximity turned the moment into forbidden scandal, touching directly on Michael's hidden sexuality and threatening his carefully crafted public image. Rumor mills claimed a passionate romance kept in the shadows, with the lack of joint photos and the sudden collapse of their collaborations seen as signs of a secret too dangerous to reveal, an effort to shield the king of pop from a career-shaking scandal. This historic photograph shows Cassius Clay, boxing's rising prodigy, posing with the Beatles in Miami Beach on February 18, 1964. The moment Clay jokingly knocks out the band became a bold cultural scandal. At the height of the civil rights movement, a young black athlete asserted pride and dominance over the era's biggest white icons. Its impact came from the silent, political message it carried, foreshadowing Clay's transformation into Muhammad Ali and turning the image into a lasting symbol of unapologetic black power. This black and white photo captures Josephine Baker performing in 1920s France, nearly nude, wearing only her iconic faux banana skirt. The act sparked a moral uproar. Baker intentionally played into exoticized fantasies of primitive blackness to claim the fame and power America denied her. Her portrayal of a self-possessed, openly sexual black woman was a radical provocation, condemned as indecent. The image lays bare the racial sexual objectification she faced and the heavy price of claiming her own freedom. This romantic glow is one of Hollywood's most elegant lies. The 1964 photo shows Johnny Mathis alongside Sandra Dee and her husband. Dee's radiant smile masked a harrowing private reality of eating disorders and substance abuse. The staged appearance exposed the brutality behind Hollywood's perfect image. What fueled gossip was the intimate way Dee looked at Mathis, seen as a blatant breach of taboo racial boundaries and a spark for forbidden romance rumors. With her marriage already near collapse, the photo captured the moment Hollywood's illusion cracked, revealing buried personal tragedy and hidden racial tensions. This early 1950s black and white photo shows Vera Francis, the sensual rose, elegantly dressed and lifted by four men in tuxedos. The public spun it into a notorious sex scandal, accusing her of moral decadence and exchanging intimacy with powerful men for roles, an interpretation that eclipsed her refined image. Defenders insisted it was simply artistic staging. The clash turned the photo into endless controversy, forcing audiences to ask, was it a scandal, or the cruel weight of prejudice against a talented black actress? This photo captures Hattie McDaniel, the first black woman to win an Oscar, holding her golden statuette. Yet her historic victory came with a heavy price tied to accusations of betrayal. Black communities and civil rights groups harshly criticized her for playing only mammy roles, arguing she reinforced damaging racial stereotypes. As she posed in her elegant gown, critics claimed she had traded racial dignity for personal luxury. Her famous line, "I'd rather make $7,000 a week playing a maid than $7 a week being one," turned the image into a conflicted symbol of sacrifice and groundbreaking achievement. One of the most haunting paparazzi photos ever taken, the scandalous nightclub moment captured just 24 hours before pop queen Whitney Houston's death. The image shocked the public. Her tangled hair, vacant stare, and frail body revealed a level of physical collapse starkly at odds with the angelic voice adored worldwide. Shot just a day before she was found dead in her hotel bathtub, the photo became a grim omen, showing she was still trapped in a deadly, downward spiral. It stunned the world by exposing the devastating toll addiction had taken on a once great talent. Paparazzi captured Whitney Houston's severe physical deterioration during her performance at Michael Jackson's 30th anniversary celebration in September 2001, a moment widely seen as the public beginning of the pop queen's downfall. It was one of the first times she appeared on a major stage looking alarmingly thin, her protruding collarbones and frail arms revealing an ongoing battle with addiction, nothing like the radiant image she once upheld. The photo ignited relentless media scrutiny. It marked not only the turning point of her declining career, but also a painful breach of trust for the black community that had long celebrated her. This black and white photo exposes a side of Michael Jackson long hidden behind his untouchable Peter Pan persona. Taken in the late 1980s at a Los Angeles nightclub, during the peak of his global fame, it captured a very different Michael. His enigmatic smile, surrounded by women in an overly intimate setting, shattered his saint-like image and fueled rumors of fleeting romances and personal instability. The photo didn't just crack the illusion, it revealed a conflicted, desirous adult Michael Jackson, leaving millions of fans feeling betrayed. This infamous snapshot captured the humiliating downfall of a legend, Diana Ross, the Queen of Entertainment, being publicly escorted from a police station after her alleged altercation at Heathrow Airport in September 1999. The image shocked the world. Her ashamed, anxious expression as British police led her out shattered the proud, untouchable diva persona she'd built on stage. Public debate erupted over celebrity privilege. Did fame make stars believe they were above the law? The photo became undeniable proof of a diva crown collapsing under legal reality. This photo shows O.J. Simpson leaving the Los Angeles courthouse on January 28, 1997, during the civil trial in which the victims' families sought to hold him liable for his ex-wife's death. It became a shocking document of the athlete's defiant attitude. The notorious detail: Simpson casually holding a basketball in his car as he left the hearing. The public saw it as a blatant dismissal of the gravity of the case. His calm expression only reinforced the belief that he felt no remorse. Taken just days before the jury ordered him to pay $33.5 million in damages, the image, Simpson relaxed with a basketball, became a symbol of his challenge to justice and his delusion about the trial's outcome. This warm family photo of jazz giant Count Basie with his wife and 13-year-old daughter Diane in 1957 became a shocking revelation when published in the New York Daily News. It exposed a long-kept secret Basie had hidden for years. The emotional center of the scandal was Diane's condition. She had cerebral palsy. In the 1950s, when disability carried heavy social stigma, the Basie family felt forced to keep her existence strictly private. The photo ignited intense public debate. What looked like a tender family moment instantly became a perceived betrayal of Basie's flawless public image, turning his love for his daughter into a secret finally and painfully brought to light. This seemingly adorable 1930 on-set photo of Bill Bojangles Robinson and child star Shirley Temple became a symbol of painful compromise in early Hollywood. For the black community, the shock lay in the contrast. To break barriers, Robinson had to play Temple's servant. The tender image became a stark reminder of the stereotypes black performers were forced to accept. Despite his attempts to push for better roles, the photo still triggers debate. Was Robinson opening doors for future generations or sacrificing dignity to survive in Hollywood? This 1950s nightclub photo shows Dorothy Dandridge caught between two men in an overly intimate pose. The image ignited scandal in a conservative era that saw such behavior as brazen and morally defiant. It created a jarring contrast between her elegant on-screen persona and the wild, uninhibited woman the photo seemed to reveal. This final 1927 photo of Florence Mills shows her glowing on the surface while hiding severe physical exhaustion. Her sudden death at 31, just a month later, shocked the world. The public, and the black community in particular, condemned her passing as the tragic result of racial pressure and the relentless demand to prove herself in show business. The photo of Oprah Winfrey wearing her Miss Crown stirred controversy around her hidden past. Many viewed it as a perfect cover, masking pain and compromised dignity, even fueling rumors of a sexual exchange for the title. In reality, the win only heightened the pressure on her, culminating in the tragedy of her teenage pregnancy. The image became a symbol of fame's brutal cost. The 1945 photo of Cab Calloway in Kansas City Municipal Court exposed the brutal reality of Jim Crow. The scandal lay in its cruel contrast. An international star beaten by police simply for trying to enter a whites-only nightclub, then charged with intoxication and resisting arrest. The courtroom image cemented his public humiliation, revealing how the justice system punished the very victims of racial discrimination. It showed that not even fame could shield a black icon from systemic racism. The photo of Bessie Smith and her estranged husband Jack G. beside a luxury 1920s car meant to symbolize success became a shocking reminder of a marriage built on violence and deceit. Public outrage grew as people already knew their relationship was plagued by abuse and jealousy, with G notorious for infidelity and physical violence. The deeper scandal was that Smith was the true breadwinner, fueling rumors that G exploited her wealth and fame. Suspicion only intensified when he cheated, spent her money, and ultimately abandoned her in 1929. The photo capturing Paul Robeson at his June 12, 1956, hearing before the House Un-American Activities Committee became a shocking symbol of how brutally an outspoken artist could be punished. In the fevered climate of the Cold War, Robeson's open sympathy for socialism and the Soviet Union was branded as betrayal. The image stands as stark evidence of a national hero publicly interrogated by his own government, an event that deeply split public opinion. The photo became one of the most notorious images in U.S. political history. Paul Robeson used the Genocide Convention to accuse the U.S. of committing genocide against Black Americans through police brutality and systemic discrimination. His Cold War-era accusation was seen as a direct blow to America's image and, paired with his left-wing politics, was branded as treason. The petition pushed U.S. racism into global view and triggered retaliation. The government revoked his passport, banned him from performing, and derailed his career for 8 years. The snapshot of Hazel Scott and Adam Clayton Powell Jr.'s romantic 1945 wedding instantly ignited high society controversy. The real scandal came afterward. Scott was blacklisted and hauled before Congress for using her fame to challenge Hollywood's racism, famously refusing to wear a maid's apron, and for her left-leaning associations. This joyful wedding photo became a painful symbol of the steep price a black star paid for daring to defy America's racial order. This is one of R&B's most deceitful and infamous photos. Tina Turner and Ike Turner with Sammy Davis Jr. posing in a 1969 studio session. What looked like creative chemistry was, in reality, a staged facade hiding a crime. Ike was an abuser, and Tina was the victim forced to endure it. Shot at the height of their career, the photo reveals Tina's exhaustion as she strained to play the role of the happy wife while her real wounds were still fresh. Public outrage erupted years later after Tina's 1976 divorce and her explosive revelations of abuse. Only then did people finally see the fear in her face, an expression long overlooked throughout their scandal-ridden marriage. This photo exposes a shocking side of jazz legend Louis Armstrong, captured smoking marijuana with friends in the early 1940s, an act considered a serious crime at the time. Armstrong later admitted he smoked daily and even called it his medicine, igniting fierce moral backlash. The image became an unsettling symbol of his double life, a celebrated hero on stage, yet forced to live like an underground criminal, constantly breaking the law. This photo of Nat King Cole filming his final movie, Cat Ballou, in 1965 is a haunting document that reveals the tragedy behind his last smile. In the promotional shot, he beams with effortless charm, but the contrast is devastating. Cole was already dying, passing away that same year. Those cheerful moments on set in 1964 came as he battled late-stage lung cancer brought on by years of heavy smoking. The image has since become a chilling symbol of a concealed illness, capturing one of the final glimpses of a legendary artist. This 1952 black and white photo of Charlie Parker exposed one of jazz's most shocking tragedies. At just 32, the bebop genius already bore the exhausted face of a man in his 50s, a global wake-up call to his self-destructive spiral. The image captures his frail, deteriorating appearance. The full horror emerged 3 years later, when Parker died and the coroner estimated his physical age to be between 50 and 60. This devastating snapshot has become a painful symbol of the ruin left behind by heavy drinking and drug addiction in the jazz world. This photo of Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. in a nightclub around 1993 to 1994 once symbolized a rising friendship, but later became a historic record of its collapse. Everything unraveled after Tupac was shot in 1994 and became convinced Biggie and Diddy were involved. That sense of betrayal ignited a public feud that spiraled into a full-scale war between Death Row and Bad Boy Records. After both were assassinated, Tupac in 1996, Biggie in 1997, the image of their early camaraderie turned into a haunting reminder of how jealousy, violence, and street politics tore hip-hop apart. This photo of Naomi Campbell leaving court after her 2006 assault case, where she was accused of throwing a cell phone at her housekeeper, shocked the world. It captured a tense, fiery expression that clashed sharply with her flawless runway image. Dressed elegantly yet visibly strained, Naomi became a symbol of the stark divide between public glamour and private turmoil. The moment fueled questions about the pressures she faced and her long reported struggles with anger and control. These iconic photographs throughout time are essentially memoir albums preserving the great tragedies, dazzling yet fraught with pain, of these black legends. They stand as proof of the strength, courage, and intense lust for life, shown by those who dared to challenge prejudice and injustice across the entire millennium. If you too feel moved by the moments in our collection, please leave a comment sharing your thoughts below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next videos, where we'll delve deeper into the hidden corners, the destinies, and the untold truths of the celebrity world.